1970 Size, and I'll be doing a review of Toyota Vitz 2015 Technical English Project. So without any further ado, let's move to the review. The car I am going to review right now is Toyota Vitz third generation from 2014. It has been facelifted. It is also known as the Spider shape. This car is famous in Pakistan for its comfortable drive, and it's also the compact hatchback type design. It's quite easy to use on Pakistani roads. And then we have right here the 3D model which I am going to show you. It's the 3D view of its overall structure. Right here you can see we have it in blue color, white color, and many other colors, but the most usually used are blue ones and the white ones. We also have the third color, that's red one, but it's the recessive variant. After that we will move to the interior of the car. The interior of the car is not very appealing, but it's made in plastic finish, giving it a quite modest and cheap look. Now coming to the steering wheel is of 3 spoke. Left and right spoke have controls. Left spoke has the volume controls for volume up, volume down, next track and previous track. The right spoke has the call pickup, to pick the call, to drop the call, and there is also one blank to install any additional features if you want them in future. Now spoke area has plastic gloss finish, but the center is made of plastic. Now there are 2 airbags in this car. One is in the steering wheel and one is in the dashboard. Now coming to its meter is quite simple. It has 3 dials, and it matches the 2015 model Corolla. Now this car has 3 dials. Center one is speedometer, which shows speed in km/h. Left dial is the indication light with different indication light, and right one is the fuel gauge. Then we have 2 buttons for clock adjustment for hour and minute, and then in the center we have an instrument cluster where we have odometer, and which shows us distance covered, our gears P, R and D, our temperature, clock, trips A, B, C, and average km/h, which depends on how you drive and where you drive. It can be reset by pressing this button, and now it will give you the next average of your driving for your next drives. Now the steering assembly is also quite simple. On the right side we have light controls, and on left side we have windshield washer controls. Now there is also rear windshield washer which you can turn off and on from here. Now the dashboard has 4 vents, 2 in center and 2 on sides, which can be opened or closed. Now this dashboard was updated in 2014. This is the new dashboard. The old dashboard looked like this. This is the pic of the old dashboard I'm showing right now. Dashboard is of 2 layers. One is black and other is peach one, and both layers are made of plastic, cheap plastic. Center has a multimedia system which has Japanese language, and it's 7 inches, and it has been installed with aftermarket interrupts. Now there are some additional things in it, which are Bluetooth, DVD, Android, Wi-Fi, hazard lights, and now coming below we have this hazard light, and coming below it we have climate controls. In climate control we have this airflow which we can switch, and we have fan speed adjustment, and where is the air supposed to come out from, and we have AC turn on off button. We also have a temperature adjustment control and rear windshield defogger button. Now we have a secret lighter below it and two blanks to install any additional features if we want them in future. Now coming down, we have one storage compartment that's quite large. We have two cup holders which can be removed to increase the storage space. And then we have gear, and in gear the gear system is automatic. We have PRNDS, sports and brake. Now after this we have the whole area in the plastic finish, not a very good look. Behind it we have switches, we have traction control, other are blanks to install any additional features if we want any. Then alongside we have an other thing that's for coin storage, this one right here, or card holder you might store. This is the book holder. This is the conventional manual handbrake. It's not the electronic one, it's the conventional handbrake. Now behind it we have another cup holder, another card holder, and another cup holder for the second back seat. Now the seats are fixed and are fabricated, and it is a textured fabric with matte finish. The headrests are fixed and they are not adjustable, they are fixed right there. Door pens are quite beautiful but they are made of plastic, and this is not in the soft touch padding. The lower has the fabric finish, and then we have this tray which contains two card holders where you can store coins or anything. After that we have this cup holders. This car has 4 speaker spaces, but the pre-installed are only 2 speakers. And there is also another storage compartment, and this is a search compartment where you might store documents. It's quite sufficient for storing things. Now this one is the aux cable, USB connection cable of this car. Now windows control are automatic for the driver window, and the other windows are manual, but I have them installed as automatic in this car. These are the lock buttons, and this is window lock button. Now side mirrors can be retracted. If you press the button, the side mirrors move out, or they might go back in. They can be unlocked or locked, and they can also be adjusted using this button. You can move the mirrors right or left. After that we can adjust the headlight throw of this car, and this was supposed to be the coin holder. This was supposed to be the push start, but it's a coin holder, and for starting it we have a traditional key and a starter. This one is the search pocket where we can place our coins, and for vanity mirror, that's to block the sun, is only for the driver, and there is none for the back passengers. Now these are the dome lights, the upper lights which you can turn on and off using these buttons. After this we have the driver seat, which is 3-way adjustable. It can be moved side, front or up, and it's hydraulic seat, and you can also adjust the height of the seat. Now coming to the front seat space, we have quite spacious seats which I'll be showing you right now. You can see right here the head space is quite high. We have proper leg space, we can extend our legs, and there is sufficient space to sit even for the third person if he wants to sit. You can see that the floor space, I'll show you right now. The floor space in between these seats is flat, and the third customer sitting in between any of the two passengers won't have any trouble placing his feet. Now coming to the back seat space, seat space is also quite spacious. We have the upper head spaces quite high, and now if we move slightly to the side, these are the same fabricated textured seats, and the space is quite sufficient for 3 people, and it's also backward retractable. Now moving to the next part of this car, The many of these things in this car has been modified. It's not the original version. Rear passengers have the tinted of windows, 75% tinted for the privacy. They don't work in night, but they work good. And this is the front look of the car, which has been improved. It's also known as spider shape in Pakistan. The lights have also been modified. The front bumper has been modified, and we call it as spider shape in the car terms. The car headlamp contains the halogen lamp. We have on left the parking and the indicator bulbs, and then we have LED fog light strips on the side. These are quite small as compared to the old versions that existed previously. Those were quite big. Now, after that, coming to the air intake grills, the upper intake grills have been shrinked and become very small, and the lower grills have been expanded and they look quite big like the Exio cars, the picture I'm showing right now. Now, this is the emblem of the car, this is the bonnet of the car, and this is the exterior of the car. Now, another thing to note right here is that we have a single windshield wiper in this car, and this was all about the front. Now, moving to the side look of the car, it's quite simple, but the front and the back has been changed. Now we have our indicator in the side mirror. Sides are quite plain, but the front has been modified a lot, giving it a very impressive look. Now, coming to the rear look, this is the rear look, and this has been modified from the earlier version. The picture I am showing right now, this is from the white one that my friend owns. And now this is the beautiful tailgate of this car. The tail shield also has one wiper and rear windshield wiper. Now the tail lamps contain halogen bulbs in the center, and backlights contain LED, which are right here, up here. And then we have the reverse light, which is in the tail lamp. The trunk capacity of this car is quite large as compared to the other cars like Aqua and Exio. And we have some spare tire space right here because it's a non-hybrid car, so we don't need to store the battery. So basically we have a lot of space right here, and we can store the spare tires quite spacious, we can say. Now this tailgate, if I can close it right here, and this tailgate opens with a soft button which can be pressed, and the rear gate can be lifted softly. Now rear benches are also foldable and can be folded back to increase space. Now coming to the most impressive part, car's startup. Wow, quite good. And now coming to the next part, this car has no RPM, although it's a 1000cc car, but it has no RPM. But company has not provided any RPM meter. Now coming to its engine, it's 1KR engine, which is the 1000cc engine. It also comes in 1500cc variant, 1500cc variant. But this car contains 3-cylinder engine, so car vibrates a bit while running. This engine has 68 horsepower, and the average of this car in the city is 10 to 12 km per liter, which is quite less as compared to the other cars in its competition. Even Corolla can give 14 to 15 average in the city. Now this car comes with the standard ABS and EPS, so it's quite affordable and quite matches its specs. Now coming to its tire size, the tires in this car are of the size 185 into 55 into 15, but now the car is installed with 195 into 55 into 15, and the alloy wheels installed on it are 15 inches. And this right here is the physical key of the car. Back simple Corolla logo, and back has these two buttons, so quite simple. This was all about the review of it's 2015. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.